talking about. Word of mouth, the Boxing Playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
What's up? This is Sakura A and Emilio Santana. And you're watching Boxing Playhouse, baby. And it's ladies' night. Are you ready for some ladies?
Ready.
Oh, great. Because we got some amazing women in boxing joining us tonight, guys. Christine in the ring. Christine Lopez will be with us tonight. She's going to tell us what she's been up to and the new talent that she's encountering out in Colorado for the USA boxing team. And then we also have Czarina McCoy.
Black Rose.
The Black Rose is with us. You're right. I love this young lady. And she has a fight coming up on December 11th. So we're going to catch up with her and find out exactly what we can look forward to in that fight from her and what her future goals are for next year, 2022. Are you ready for 2022?
Ready.
Oh, no. Last time when it was 2020, and remember I was so happy about 2020, and then it ended up being a mess of a year.
This year was even worse, so I can't wait for 2022.
You're absolutely right. It ended up that this year hasn't been the best year either, especially with people losing family members and such. I mean, so definitely we want to send our love and prayers out to Eric Morales and his family since they lost his son that was 23 years old. Jose Fernandez Morales. And he passed away this week. So definitely want to send our prayers out to his family and boxing family and friends that knew him well. We're going to go ahead and move forward with our hot topics because we got some great hot topics tonight. I mean, first of all, we got to recap last weekend's boxing mania. We got plenty of fights. And I guess we need to start with the upset. We had another big upset in 2021 that we have to cover. And I hate to say it's the takeover. It's T.O. T.O. has been stripped. Well, not stripped, but T.O. lost his unified championship titles this last weekend. And, it was a superb performance by his opponent, Kambosos. I mean, what do you think about the fight and how do you feel it went and how T.O. can advance? Like, I'm just interested in the whole, situation around T.O. right now.
Well, we was glad the fight finally took place, after, being delayed a few times. So having the fight finally take place I was happy to see. I was surprised with the outcome. I thought I didn't know a whole lot about Kambosos. I know he was the top, number one contender for T.O.'s belt, but I didn't expect what I saw. Kambosos came in and fought a great fight, and T.O. might have underestimated him a little bit, and Kambosos pulled off a great win.
Now, so the question remains: is T.O. still that good, and he just slacked off, or was Kambosos really prepared and an awesome slick boxer himself? Like, what do you feel was the outcome, and what did it prove when it came to Kambosos?
I think Kambosos showed he was a little better than what a lot of people thought, and maybe T.O. underestimated him a little bit. He came in and used a lot of aggression, which I think he should have fought a little smarter. Came out there trying to take Kambosos out in the first round, and he couldn't do it, and he ended up getting dropped in the first round. So I think he underestimated Kambosos a little bit, thought he was going to go in there and knock him out, and didn't work out in his favor. And Kambosos showed, he had some skills and tricks up his sleeve, and he showed, he's the top guy out there now, and all the top guys want him now.
Yeah, but my question to you is it that Kambosos is that good, or was it T.O. was that slack? I can't.
Probably a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, you think? Okay.
I think Kambosos is a little better than what he thought. T.O., the inactivity and overconfidence, I think, might have played against him.
I know. I felt bad for him. And then when he ended up going up there for that speech afterwards about him actually winning, then you got the New Yorkers booing him because they didn't agree. They all saw, you know, him clearly losing that fight. Do you think that was a mistake for his dad to tell him that he was winning the fight?
Yeah, definitely was a mistake on Dad's part. I don't know what fight he was looking at, but he definitely gave his son the wrong instructions. And his speech at the end of the fight, played against him. The fans wasn't happy with that. It
was really embarrassing. It really was.
He came off as looking like a sore loser, really. And
it's so funny because as soon as you looked at me and said, "Oh no, he's being a sore loser," he's like, "I'm not a sore loser." I was like, perfect timing.
It's like he heard what I said when we were talking.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if he'd have turned and looked at me when he said it. But yeah, I think he, gotta win some, you lose some, man. Maybe he'll learn from this. I know he wants to go up in weight. Maybe that's the better move for T.O. Maybe he need to go up and test the waters at 140.
I do believe that he tried to hold on to that 135-pound division a little bit too long. I think his father is right in assessing that because it takes so much out of you. And then there was the long layoff. It was the COVID year. And then it was all those changes to that particular fight that just made training for it kind of impossible in a way. But we can't say impossible because Kambosos came in prepared. And he went through the exact same scenarios that T.O. went through in this particular fight. So I have to really say that I think Kambosos is as good as we thought he was that night. Right. That slick boxing that he was doing and punching through the punches is something that we actually saw in the next fight that we're going to talk about, which is Figueroa versus Fulton. But the countering, the moving around, the ring generalship, the slickness, that's something I would expect to see from an American boxer, not an Australian boxer. It was pleasant for me to see that. That people around the world are now teaching the American slick boxing. It's not like you're in a different, region of the world and you're not getting that same type of high level boxing skills. We now see that it does translate to other parts of the world when boxers want to know and can learn that type of slick boxing. What do you think about that? Yeah. Did you feel like he was that good? Like the slick boxing really showed?
Yeah, he showed a whole lot. The angle, catching T.O. with overhand rights. You even have a little shoulder roll here and there, and some of the
oh yeah, I forgot because I was like, is he doing the Philly show? What's going on?
Some sneaky uppercuts. I saw a little Lomachenko pulling the glove down and sneaking uppercuts in on T.O.
Right.
So Kambosos, he made a fan out of me. I didn't know a whole lot about him, but after last Saturday, that win, he really, impressed me a whole lot where I want to see him, with a lot of the other young top guns, see what happens.
Right. Now, what we also have is Schoolboy getting a unification type belts at their weight class. I believe it's super featherweight. He had a tough fight with Figueroa. Damn it, Fulton was in amazing shape. He took some hellified punches. And I never expected once he was getting that type of pressure from Figueroa for him to survive all of those rounds. Because he was really putting in a lot of body work on Cool Boy. And Cool Boy took it. And that is a sign of a champion. Let me just say that. A champion can weather a lot of different storms. But for me, Figueroa, when it came to those close rounds, some of the judges, even when Fulton was hurt, gave Fulton that round. And I had a problem with that because I feel like if you're in a close round and one opponent gets hurt, I feel like obviously that's the opponent that hurts you's round. Now, other people are disagreeing. They're saying, well, just because you get hurt, that don't mean anything. That don't mean you can't win the fight. Absolutely, but there were so many close rounds, and it was several times in those different rounds that Fulton did sustain some hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, what is your? I mean, do you think the decision was right? Did you see it a draw? Did you feel Figueroa won? Let me know how you feel.
I had Figueroa slightly winning the fight. I mean,
Right.
I would have been all right with a draw.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he hurt Fulton, more in the fight. He had him hurt on, 4 or 5 different occasions. So he put in a lot of body work. He kept the pressure on Fulton,
Mm-hmm.
had his back, against the ropes most of the fight. I
True.
felt like Figueroa, I felt like he won the fight. Worst case scenario, I thought it could have been a draw, but I had Figueroa winning that fight.
Well, if you had Figueroa winning that fight, he didn't leave with the title. He has an L on his record.
Right.
What are we going to do about this unfair judging? Once again.
Right. That goes to the history of boxing, all this unfair judging. So, that's the politics, the politics, like Leonard would say, but it's always going to be bad judging, man. I don't know if we'll ever get rid of that.
Well, what's up,
Jordan?
Jordan?
See the fight from a different point of view of having his way of judging the fight. Some guys get influenced by the crowd, so
yeah,
people see things from different angles. So it's always going to be a different perception or from different people,
Yeah.
But I hope we see better judging, especially next year. We got a couple more fights before the year is over. Hopefully, we see some good judging if these fights go the distance.
Okay. So we have Jordan. What's up, Jordan? He says, what's fighting? Okay, well, we're saying that Fulton, we're talking about the Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa fight and the outcome of that fight. I could see a draw. I really could have seen where the judges could have seen it a draw. However, like I'm saying, if you are an opponent and you're the one that's hurting around, it's a close round. I don't know how a judge decides, well, yeah, that's going to be his round. What I kept hearing is that Fulton had the preciser punches, which is true. When he punched, you could clearly see that he made the target. It was accurate punching for sure. Not saying otherwise, but you can be precisely punching somebody, but it not have no effect. Like, I like effective aggression. When you're punching somebody in there, and then you get an effect from that. And that's when I feel like judges should reward that. So, it's one of those fights that, a rematch is definitely something that should be ordered. I doubt it will be because they want, Cool Boy to go on and fight other people now that he has those titles. So I'm not sure if they're going to rotate and do a actual rematch.
Yeah, they need to run that one back. I feel.
That's a run back one for me too, because it was so close. Yeah. And I think Cool Boy was kind of like questioning that too. You know what I'm saying? Cool Boy was looking like he's like, well, it was close, but he knew in his heart because they were both after the fight, before the decision was read, they were both looking kind of nervous. Like,
what's the fight at again? Was it in anybody's backyard? I forgot what the fight was.
No, because Cool Boy is from
New York.
No, they weren't in New York. I think they were out west. I think they were.
What the fight was.
Yeah, I think they were out west, but I don't feel like nobody had the hometown advantage. But the crowd, it's gonna be mostly Latino if you're out in California or Vegas.
You saw what Cool Boy did. He came in with the
Mexican colors and everything like that.
A la Floyd Mayweather, a la Tank.
And
came in with the sombrero and Mexican colors.
And I heard somebody say, oh, like they sent a message on Twitter talking about, this is irrelevant now. Boxers can stop doing it. It don't have the same effect. Yes, it do. I mean, because nobody was booing. Right, Roger.
Came in with the sombrero.
The Black Mamba.
Yeah, you kind of
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that it's a situation where people are saying it's, they're over it, they're tired of it. But yet I do think it has an effect. I mean, it's showing homage and respect to a culture that loves boxing. And, you know, on top of that, it just like it neutralizes negative energy. Because like when Schoolboy walked in and he had on the Mexican colors and he had on that sombrero, you know, the boos stopped. They was like, oh, okay, well, I can't say nothing about that. He looks good in this stuff. I did too. I love the Fulton on the back of the robe. Like that was hot. Like that was a really nice outfit. So and they wasn't about to boo that. They liked it. They know they liked it. That was like without even saying. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go on because we do have some guests coming in with us later for ladies' night. Of course, we got to talk about all the ladies that's been, you know, just running through the zone. I mean, commentating to fighting. What is going on? How can we let, the non-American promoter come over to the U.S. and they're the ones that's promoting our fighters? How do you feel about Matchroom and the Zone showcasing female talent? This is so different than what we've seen in the past from any promotional company. We do still have some promotional companies that are doing absolutely zero women's fights. Tell me, how do you feel?
I love what Eddie Hearn is doing. I wish the rest of these promoters follow and give them ladies, a bigger platform. You know, we're seeing ladies, top of the bill, ladies commentating. You know, it's a good look, and I think it's going to continue to grow. And I believe the American promoters are going to catch on, and you're going to see a whole lot more women on TV and big fights. Man, we're seeing explosive knockouts, and we're seeing some women with a lot of character, like Alicia Baumgartner. Baumgartner, excuse me. But,
K.O. Kaylee just won a unified championship.
Exciting fights.
They've already matched up fights too, is what I like. It's like it's none of those like, well, we can see what happened. It's like, no, if you beat this girl, you got this person lined up for you. That female is there to talk in the ring with the, their potential opponent right then on the spot. That's what I love about it. The most is it's none of this. It's not as much politics, but the politics for me comes in when you have women that are still being overlooked because they don't have that necessarily beautiful or cookie cutter chick, cool chick look. Even though they are slick boxers, they have a lot of skill. Some have a lot of power. I mean, you got people like Chevelle Hallback that is still on the high ranking side of female world and USA rankings, and nobody's mentioning her name. And she's got the most. She's a 5-time world champion, for God's sake. Then you also got women like Tiara Brown that isn't getting, to me, the right type of platform and status that she should, with the background and the different things that she's been doing to get acknowledged. Then we have our own Carice Taz Brown, who's also making waves and fighting almost every damn month. What can you say about a fighter that's like hungry and ready to go out here across country and out of the country for fights, and you're not getting national recognition? If we didn't cover them, they wouldn't get any coverage. Like, how's that right? So we do have a long way to go. Basically, what I'm saying is that I'm happy and I'm proud that the Zone is stepping up and going ahead and giving us some more female main event and co-main event cards. But we have to do more, especially media. Me and a couple of other, marketers, media people are the only ones that's focusing in and really showcasing the female talent like it should be. So I'm just calling for other people to step up and like really give these ladies that work just as hard as the men a chance to showcase their talent too. Shout out to Jesus Escalera. Tito is in the house from TNK Boxing Promotions. Let's see what he has to say. What's going on, Tito? He says, both of you are the voice of boxing. Boxing Playhouse, the best in the business. Oh, thanks so much. Thanks. That's so cool.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate that so much. Now, also, what we wanted to talk about is just the way that some female boxers are deciding to carry themselves or not carry themselves. All right, so basically, I was on Twitter just having fun, on some of the days when I'm not feeling too well. So I'm like, I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see, Alicia, she's talking shit about Michaela Mayer. And, she's saying stuff like, I beat her ass. You know what I'm saying? And then I see a comment. Somebody's like, oh, she's classless and she doesn't have, I try to like her, but I can't because she's classless and blah, 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 blah. I mean, does a woman need to be classy? I mean, it's okay for men to talk shit about their possible opponents. They talk beef all the time. Why can't a female do it? I mean, you tell me.
I like what I was hearing.
You was liking it, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
You like to walk the dog one. That's the one you like. When she said, I would walk her like my dog. Yeah, you was feeling that one particularly.
I love that talk. So.
Well, these are the same claims that they make against
Fight
Clarissa Shields as well. They say she's classless and, tasteless. All this BS. Like, what does that got to do with boxing? Can you say she has no skill? You can't say that. I mean, this is the boxing game. This ain't even a game. This is boxing.
Business, selling fights, trying to put asses in seats, we ain't trying to hold no hands. We're trying to, start some real animosity, get some real beef in there going. So
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
You're absolutely right, and you should enjoy it. And I'm gonna enjoy it too. Alicia Baumgartner,
Wow.
the world champion right now at lightweight. Honey, talk all the shit you want to. I'm here for it.
And I love it when you can talk like that and deliver, go on there.
That's true. You need to deliver now. You can't talk shit and don't deliver.
Somebody ass, like she said, I'm going to whoop her ass. She went all the way to the UK, whoop the girl ass like Marvin Hagler did years ago, and bring that belt back to the US. So I enjoyed all that.
Oh my God. The whole situation was just amazing because, I'm sitting up there looking, and we just had her on the show the week before, and we were able to see her dreams come true and unfold in less than an hour, like that fast. I think I see Czarina in the house. She has made it to the building. So we're going to go ahead and get her into these conversations with us, because I'd like to know, like, exactly how it feels for her to start to actually see some women, winning these world championship belts on national, a national and world platform. Yeah. All right, so I'm ready for the Black Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Let me get Black Rose here. Why? Czarina.
How are you?
Well, we're doing okay now that we have you on here. So where are you at right now? We see the background. We see some Puerto Rican flags.
I'm at the Top Rank gym. I just finished working out, and I was like, I don't have time to go home. So I'm literally fresh out of a workout.
Well, awesome. I like the background. I like the fact that you're always on the grind as usual. And I'm liking it. I like it. So, I mean, you're working out. I know you have this fight plan for December 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for another title? Or
no, this one is not, but the next one will be.
Okay. So you already know what your next fight is going to be after this one.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a specific date, but I do know that it will be for a belt. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm loving, like I said, I love a boxer that's wanting to fight, willing to fight, and ain't up to playing no games. Right now, what I'm seeing is a portion of boxers that's saying they want to do certain things, but then they're not doing it. They're not going after it. But with you, I see the determination, the hard work, and you're going through with it. You're staying busy as well. So, I mean, congratulations on just, being at the top of your craft with, making it happen, grinding.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Czarina, I like your balm at the top of your head. I like that.
Really? I did it in like 2 seconds. So.
Oh, okay.
This is post-workout. I need to lay down my edges or nothing. I look so rough right now. And the quality of this camera does not help at all.
Okay, so tell us, how do you feel when you see these different boxers? Like we were talking about Alicia Baumgartner getting her belts, her first world championship. We were talking about K.O. Kaylee unifying titles, and on the Andrade as a co-main event. Like, and then also seeing females like the unified champion at welterweight winning her title. I mean, being able to commentate. So, like, how do you feel being able to see a transition, at least a little bit of movement in the coverage of females?
I think it's awesome. I think any little bit of progress that women's boxing makes at its comeback is amazing. You know, it's going to be a slow start, obviously, because of the fact that nobody really wants to fully invest in the sport because it did die down for a while. So that's to be expected. But, you know, I feel like as long as we as, you know, women boxers and everyone who supports women's boxing continues to make these little steps of progress, you know, we can get there a lot faster than we have even set in sight right now.
Absolutely. I think it's a great thing that we're seeing some movement. And I know that your goal is also to be one of those world champions of a couple of titles down in the bantamweight area.
Oh, is it flyweight, superfly?
Superfly. Oh, she's at superfly now. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about what your overall goals are in securing those.
So my overall goal is to unify the belts in my weight class. I also do have in mind to go up a weight class, even down, to get like a title, you know. So that's my main goal, is to unify and, you know, do some defenses. That's pretty much my goal as a fighter. But as far as women's boxing in general, my goal is just to help it, you know, be more recognized, be more invested in. Even if you have to start, you know, a program after I'm done boxing, like after I retire, I start a program for women's youth, and you know, to bring in the next generation of women fighters, or just, you know, anything that you can, as long as we're, you know, making steps towards it and putting our all into trying to make steps towards bettering women's boxing. I feel like, you know, if we all work together, even though some of us are going to have to fight each other, it would be
Yeah, I mean, you've told us a little bit about how it feels when you're fighting, you know, some females that you have already interacted with, or that you were, you know, friends with at certain times, and then, you know, it didn't work out. The friendships didn't work out once you beat the ass, basically. Are you still having to like kind of be to yourself in the boxing community because of, you know, just the fact that there's some conflict there?
I don't think it's because of the conflict. I think it's just I'm starting to learn a lot about people in this sport. When I was in the amateurs, I was under this false pretense that the people who were supporting me and who were my friends and really close to me would always be that way, even after I transitioned into the pros. And I'm finding out now that that's not true. Like, there's a lot of people that I was really close with in the amateurs who now they don't really show support like I thought that they would, or like they used to, you know. And I shouldn't have to beg you to support me. You know, you want me to support you, and I do. I support, I repost, I this, I that. But I hardly ever get reciprocation, which is fine. You know, people do what they want to do with their lives. It's completely your decision on what you choose to post or who you choose to support, you know? Yeah, so that's on you. That's completely your decision, and I don't feel any sort of way about it. I just understand now why certain boxers, they'll like get signed, or they'll get like a little bit of money in their name and they'll just unfollow everybody they used to be cool with. I understand that now, because I have to unfollow everybody myself. I'm like, if you don't want to support me, why am I supporting? But I continue to do so just because of bigger picture. You know, I can't get in my feelings and be like, oh, you know, you don't support me, so I'm just gonna stop supporting you. Like, if you don't support me, that's fine, but I'm supporting you for bigger picture. We have to continue to support each other, or, you know, we have to continue to, you know, make movements, make progress, make little baby steps. So, you know, some people just don't see bigger picture. They see right in front of them, and that's fine. You know, that's how they live their life. I don't live my life like that.
Okay. I mean, I understand what you're saying because we have the same issue where we thought there were certain people that we met early on with Box and Playhouse, and we thought that we were going to be really super close to them. And not only did we get disappointed, but you do still feel some type of betrayal as well with how they went about doing things.
Yeah.
And you seem to be a person like me where you're very upfront. And, if you have an issue with somebody, you're like, in their face, like basically, hey, you really pissed me off right now. You did this and that, and here's why I'm not gonna continue our relationship as friends, or like I'm just spit it out to them. But a lot of people I'm learning, they don't do those things. They just kind of like slither on away, and you don't get any resolution as to why there's a problem. And I don't mind people not supporting us, but then don't let me go and see as I'm scrolling on Facebook that you done sit up there and saw something we did recently and then recopied it or redid it the same thing. Then you're like, now that's classless and you're being a little disrespectful.
Yeah, like I think when I first started like reposting other women fighters on my story, not on my main page, but on the Czarina McCoy 2 page, I was reposting other women fighters, and I would just hashtag women supporting women. Now, these women that I was like reposting who had fights coming up, who had big things happening to them, got signed, whatever the case is, amateur or pro, I would do like hashtag women supporting women. I would tag them. They either wouldn't repost it, they wouldn't even reach out and say thank you, wouldn't even like the message, nothing. Like, okay, I'm just supporting you with no feedback,
Right.
And then all of a sudden I start, which was fine. I was like, maybe you're busy, maybe you just don't see the message. I don't know. Some of these girls I didn't even follow, they didn't follow me. So I was just blindly supporting. And then I started to see a bunch of other women reposting with like hashtag women supporting women. So now I'm like, wait a second.
You just did the same thing I was doing without giving me credit for what you took from me.
Like, honestly, I can't take credit for hashtag women supporting women. That was there long before me. But I can take credit for me being like the woman boxer to start, the trend of supporting other women boxers, no matter the case, whether I'm going to fight you or not, whether I know you or not, whether we follow each other or not. Like, now I'm seeing you, and I posted you and did it, and you didn't respond at all. Now you're doing it 2 weeks later. Like, that can't be a coincidence. And you're doing it to somebody else. You don't even do it to me. Like, you do it to somebody else. It's like, for me, the majority of fighters that support me are men. Like, my teammates. I'm the only girl in my camp. I'm always the only girl in the gym. The only people who support me for the most part, as far as boxing wise, are men. And that's not right to me. If you guys want women's boxing to go somewhere, then women need to support women. Why are all my men teammates supporting me and there's no women supporting me?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get it. I totally understand what you're saying, because it's like we have this first week of ladies night every month. Every month it's the first week, and it's like I'm trying to give women a platform to showcase their talent and let men and women fans know that these women are here and they're awesome in their skill. And sometimes I'm getting pushback where they don't want to even come on the show.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Or they want to come on the show, but then as soon as they get through promoting themselves, they disappear.
Right.
You don't see them anymore trying to, basically support the platform that's trying to support you.
And it's crazy because every time I get on here with you guys and we do these interviews, I get a lot of new supporters, like a lot of new supporters. And then I feel like maybe I don't give you guys as many supporters as you guys give me, but I feel like me sharing like our interactions, our interviews, it gives both of us new networking, because there's been a lot of people who are like, oh my God, who are they? Like, they seem really fun to interview with, like, or I want to get an interview with them one day or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it would be better for you and everyone involved if you just continue to keep contact and support with the people who are putting you on. Right. Like, if I'm getting a lot of new supporters from interviewing with you, I know they are. So it's like, why would you just get that little bit and then just be like, okay, well, That's it. You know, that doesn't make sense. You're not doing anything good for yourself or the sport. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, we do have some comments, and we know that you do support us. So I was not talking about Black Rose. Trust me, I was. Every time we ask or want you to come on the show, you're always trying your best to be available. I mean, look at you now at the gym, and you like stop right where you was at so that you can be, you know, with us tonight. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I was like, I don't have time to go home. Y'all got to turn the music down. I got to interview.
Oh, wow. I think Bernard is sending you a message. That's right. Mr. Trainer, father extraordinaire of Jaleel Hackett is saying, I am tuned in. Support the people who support you. Hey, there you go. That's how it works.
Really?
Yeah, I like who likes me. That's my saying. I always say, I like who like me.
If you don't like me, I'm praying for you. That's all I could say. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Like you always said, love us, love you back.
Yeah, love us and we'll love you back. So, I mean, I don't know about people. I'm just trying to do what I can do. And Czarina, I know that you're honed in on your craft. So it's like you have to take these things and you know, kind of shake off the bad juju that, you know, you feel. Sometimes I feel that certain people are trying to throw you away. And it's like, I don't need that negativity. Oh, you got some more messages though. Let's see. We got Dana. Dana says Sanai. Oh, Dana Sanai. She says, hey, Black Rose, watching from New Mexico.
Hi, Dana.
I've never been to New Mexico. I want to check it out.
I've been in New Mexico one time for a tournament when I was in the amateurs. I went to Albuquerque. It was nice.
It was nice?
Yeah, I liked it.
The people were nice? They cool people?
Yeah, they were really nice. There's like a large community of Native Americans in Albuquerque.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Well, we have Derek Curry, DC from Mayweather Promotions. He basically is saying she has a very bright future in the sport of boxing. Keep working hard and stay focused. Czarina, fire. Thanks, DC. And you're absolutely right. We just love Czarina. Black Rose, we were able to catch up with you a couple of months back at your gym and really like the environment and your coach. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, everybody's doing really well. They are trying their best to stay safe in the pandemic COVID. So, you know, everybody's doing really good though. They've made some changes to the gym since you guys were last in there. So they're like renovating it like piece by piece, you know, adding some things, making it look really nice. So next time you guys come out and we go back to that gym, you know, it'll look different a little bit.
Absolutely. Definitely want to come back and be with you. And then we're also hoping that you'll be able to come out and be with us some too and be able to take advantage of some of the world-class boxing we have here, you know, as far as sparring and things like that with other girls. Yeah, other women.
I need some women sparring. I spar as dudes. The only woman I've sparred is Ava. I sparred Ava, what, two weeks ago?
Well, that's the best. That's one of the best. Sparring one of the best.
I sparred Ava, but that was like the first time we sparred since I was like 15 or 16.
Wow.
Other than that, I only get like guy work. So.
Yeah, we got a couple of female boxers that are here in this area, and actually, Alicia Baumgartner has actually been down here training too, because we have Noemi Vasquez, known as No, and then of course there's Buffy, which is Carice Brown that introduced last time. There's some other females in this area too that spar, so you know you don't have to strictly spar with men. So I'm hoping that we can get you out here soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We got Cindy. She says, love Boxing Playhouse.
So do I, Cindy. I think we all love Boxing Playhouse.
I like Black Rose. Such a bright young lady.
Oh, thank you.
That is so true. And, you know, somebody contacted me earlier today on IG, and they wanted me to read the message to you. Okay, Czarina, because they weren't going to be able to be with us live.
Mm-hmm.
but they wanted to make sure that you receive this message. So let's see what they have to say. And this is from Robert.
Rob.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's out in California, I believe.
Yeah, Rob. I know Rob. Mm-hmm.
Yes. He says, to Black Rose herself, Czarina, just know I'm always in your corner. Um, sis, and can't wait to see you take the boxing world by storm. December 11th, you'll show them why you're elite. All caps, elite. He's so sweet.
Well, I know Rob can't be here live, but thank you, Rob. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. He's supported me for years. Like he's always very supportive.
That's great. Yeah, he's a nice guy for sure. And he definitely wanted to leave you that message. And matter of fact, every time we have you on, I know Rob kind of creeps in and leaves some messages for you, or he'll text me earlier that day and be like, wow, you got a nice show. I wanted to see Black Rose, you know. So
Yeah,
that's
he always
cool.
will message me every once in a while and like check on me or just be like, when are you fighting? Or like, I always support you. Like, yeah, he's very kind.
Okay, so Christine is coming on. She's a little late, but she does want to, talk to you as well. So if you could just hold on a little bit longer with us, if you have time, we'd appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Czarina, out of all the fights that you've seen this year, what you feel is the fight of the year?
Fight of the year?
Yeah, this year. I know you got a fight coming up. Your fight could be the fight of the year before the year's over.
Could be. It could be.
You
But
never know.
of all the fights this year, what do I think is fight of the year?
Yeah.
Ooh, I mean, I would have given it to Crawford and Porter, but it didn't go all the way through. So
Damn it! Didn't they cheat us? They cheated us.
They
I
did.
feel like the end of the fight was cheated.
His dad cheated us. I don't know. I'm so upset about that. Ugh. Somebody needs to beat him up for that. Because how are you going to sit here and take this man out the fight? He's clearly okay.
Ugh.
He's okay.
He was on his talk show, and he's a couple of days ago, and he actually was taken up for his father and saying that his father never saw him like demonstrating his emotion like that, with him being so mad that he was beating on the canvas and everything. And so he knew that was out of Sean's character, and that he was gonna have to stop the fight at that point. So
I mean, that sounds like BS. I'm sorry. I don't know. That sounds like BS. Me and my father would have most definitely been scrapping. Like he wouldn't do it, but we would have been scrapping if he did do something like that. Because I get that even if you've never seen your child demonstrating that amount of emotion, if you see that they're okay and that they're like good enough to fight, why would you stop it? Like emotions, as long as he's not being reckless with his emotions, I don't see a reason to stop the fight.
Oh my God. I just feel like Kenny really cheated us. I think he got scared. Because,
and then did you hear the post interview, like Kenny's post fight interview?
Yeah,
like they interviewed him. Yeah, he was all like, "Oh well, he's at the stage where he thinks he knows everything, so I showed him that he didn't." So you basically stopped the fight to punish him. For not.
I did think that for a minute. I thought like, wow, he's like basically saying like you didn't do your training the way I wanted you to.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like stop this fight because you didn't do what I asked you to do.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, and it's like me personally, from being a fighter who trains with their parent, it does get frustrating. You do get into fights. Some camps we don't get along at all. Like the whole camp, we won't get along. My dad would never in his life pull me out of a fight because we didn't get along in training camp. Like it comes with the sport. You do something with your parent every single day, 24/7, 365 days a year. You think y'all not gonna get tired of each other sometimes?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'll see you at home. I can't do this right now. Like, I will see you at home. Like, it just happens. It's just how it is in the sport with your parent. Like, you're with them all the time, especially me because I live with my dad. So it's like I see him at the house. I see him at the gym. I see him all the time. The only time I don't see him is when I'm at school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's normal to to get tired of each other. I get tired of my coaches.
Yeah.
I don't even see my coaches all the time unless I'm in the gym, but I get tired of them. It's just is how it is. But I know my coaches would never in their life stop a fight just because I'm showing emotion. Never in their life.
I mean, I felt like Sean was so mad that when he got up, you didn't know what kind of Sean Porter you was gonna get. I mean, he could have got up and just went into beast mode on Bud.
Right.
We just don't know.
We deserve to know what that was. I would have rather took a L by getting beat up than to take a L by my corner stopping me when I was fully functional. Oh, I was so upset.
Well, now that we know how you feel about stopping the fights, I mean, it sounds like you on that wilder side a little bit where you're like, let me go out on my shield. Don't be stopping no fights. Now, is this what I'm reading?
I mean, obviously, if you're out on your feet, stop it. You know, if the ref is not going to stop it, the corner stop. Like, that's up to your jurisdiction. But if I'm fully functional and I can fight, I don't care. If I'm losing, let me get beat up. And the scorecards had Sean up 1 round. And then
that was the real bad part, is that I don't think Kenny realized that his son was actually ahead.
Yeah, he was up, and then the round where he got knocked down twice, that would have just made them even. It really could have ended in a draw. We don't know. We don't know what would have happened because he pulled.
He prematurely acted when he said he was just gonna retire after that.
I mean, I feel like he said that out of anger, but if my dad did me like that, I would retire too. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, dang, I can't even trust my own father in the ring. I can't do it anymore.
You know what? That's an interesting point. That is something that maybe went through Porter's mind. It's like, damn, my dad is talking shit about me, and he knows I'm thinking about retiring. So I just didn't like if you were thinking about retirement before this fight and your dad knew it, why would he let that be the final words that people remember about Sean's career?
Right. Unless he did it because he knew if he did it, Sean wouldn't retire because that's not how he wanted to end his career. Like if he was thinking about it and he had brought it to his dad's attention, like this is gonna be my last fight and then I'm gonna retire. His dad may have pulled him out because 1, he has been listening to him in the camp, so to punish him, and for 2, he's like, if I pull him out, he's not gonna want to end his career on this note, so he's gonna keep fighting.
Yeah,
I don't know. Dads be on crazy stuff like that.
Now your dad is definitely one that don't play. You can look at him and tell that he means business. And you're saying that you guys would get into it. Now, I just have another father coach that's chiming in because I was about to ask Bernard, how does he and his son deal with conflict in their particular, fight camps? Mm-hmm. So he says,
Bernard, Luis, how you say his name? Alcaron. He thinks Czarina's in Puerto Rico. He said, what part of Puerto Rico?
No, I'm not in Puerto Rico. They just have like a bunch of flags up in the gym. Just give you a little sneak peek of the Top Rank gym. They have all the flags up. That's just the flag I'm sitting in front of.
Yeah, they got a bunch of flags. I see that. Well, let's get back on topic. Let's see. Trust me, as bad. This is Bernard. Coach Nard, what's going on? He says, trust me, as a dad coach, we see things before the world does, and we know the fighter and the son. If our son/fighter is severely injured or lost abilities, we have to be with our son even after the fights go off. I don't like the way Kenny did the post-fight interview, but Crawford is a rattlesnake, and even a baby rattlesnake strikes to kill.
And I understand that, but I feel like Porter had all of his abilities. Like, I feel like he was fully functional. He didn't seem like he was out on his feet. He didn't seem confused. He didn't seem like he needed to be stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you on that one for sure.
He didn't even hit
the mat hard. That's true. Yeah.
Like he could have gotten up and let him throw a couple punches, see how he looked. If he didn't like it, then throw in the white towel, but don't throw in the white towel before he even gets up and gets to show you what he still has in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not a parent coach, but I just know for me personally, if y'all stop me while I'm down there and I'm ready to get up, we gonna be scrapping. I would have went to the corner and immediately been scrapping with my dad. Look, get in here right now. You want to stop this fight? I'm ready to fight. Get in here.
Oh no. Nard also says, when you question the dad stopping the fight, look at the G-man now. Even Trinidad's dad stopped a fight before injury. Okay. I mean, what do you think about that, Emilio?
As far as what, the female?
But actually, before I even do all of that, Christine Lopez is finally in the house, and we want her to join us as well for this particular topic, because everybody is just like on Kenny's case. Do they have a point? Was he wrong? Did he cheat us out of the ending on this fight or not? We got in the ring with Christine to chime in.
Hi, I'm sorry I'm so late. I'm so sorry. I have duty calls. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I missed y'all guys. I'm so glad to be back on.
Oh my God, it's so hard to deal with boxing. I mean, it's been a busy end of the year and busy. I don't think we've ever seen this many fights at the end of the year and on holiday weeks like this year.
They got to fulfill those contracts. Those promoters owe people fights. So all the fights are going to happen. Absolutely. And I love it. It's good for us boxing heads.
Right.
Yeah, that's for sure. We got stuff to watch. I used to get so depressed when it hit like the second week of November, because I'm like, oh my goodness, maybe one more fight and then it's like dead until January.
Right.
So I'm kind of happy that we have some things to look forward to. Before we get to what we're looking forward to, Bernard Hackett, coach and father of Jaleel Hackett, who happens to be fighting on the Tank Davis versus Cruz undercard. Nice. He's chiming in and he's talking about the fact of Kenny and how he stopped the fight when Sean Porter, basically he went down for the second time, but he wasn't hurt. How do you feel about this, Christine?
Honestly, I thought it was a good stoppage. And the reason why, whenever Porter hit the mat and he started banging on the mat, you knew that mentally he was gone. And everybody knows when Bud smells blood, he's going to go in for the kill. And Kenny didn't want his kid to go out on a stretcher, and I don't blame him. You know, it's very hard when a father or mother is the coach and in the corner. It is, because you don't want to jump in too soon, but you also don't want your kid to get hurt. But I thought it was a good call. I really did. He was not mentally there. Once you lose that mental part of it, it's over.
And I think I understand where you're coming from, but Sean trains out here. So I've actually
I was going to say, are you in the Top Rank gym?
Yeah, I am in the Top Rank.
Yeah. I was there. I was like, it looks familiar. I was there during the
so Sean trains out here, and I've seen Sean in hard sparring. I mean, this man has gotten hit with some shots, and his dad just let it keep going on. He didn't he's even gotten knocked down in sparring, and he's gotten back up, and he was fine. He was frustrated, but he was fine. That's the only reason why I think the stoppage wasn't a good one, because if it had been anyone else, then maybe sure that would have been good. But as far as things that I've seen in Sean's actual camp that his dad has let slide, it was worse than what happened in the fight.
And I totally respect what you're saying. And you as a fighter know that sparring and actual fight are totally different. It's the adrenaline's different, the anxiety, the mental part of it. Everything that you go through is different, because in sparring, yes, it is more monitored, it's more controlled. And in the fight, you want to win. You want to go in there and you want to kick ass, And yes, you went in there and you saw, Sean spar. I'm also close to Bud's team and them, and I've seen him in sparring. I've seen him do these things, and things happen that wouldn't happen in the fight. So I totally respect what you're saying, because, I mean, that's true. But you also know, as a fighter, things change once it's the real deal, Yeah. And as a parent, I've had my kids boxing too. It's you just don't know, okay, is this the right time? Is it not? But then again, your kid well enough to know he's not going to recover from this. Is he going to win? Is he going to knock Bud out and win this fight? And if he's not, and he's getting damaged, and he looks like he's going on the deep end, it's time to throw the towel in and save him, And that's my opinion,
Right. I mean, I like your opinion too, emotional, it basically speaks to whether or not a fighter is really complete and ready to go if they are emotionally, if they have emotional
Right.
depth.
Sure.
My thing is like I feel like Sean would have got up and he would have turned into a beast because he was just that upset.
That's what
And
I was
we just don't know what the hell he would have popped up, and then it would have been, you know, some old school Sean that came out where, you know, he got you on the ropes and he's making it nasty and you ain't got room to really swing. Like you just don't know.
And he's a beast. I mean, I don't take
Yeah.
anything away from him. He's fought the top dogs. You know, he is amazing. I take nothing from him. And as he would turn to a beast, I really believe that Bud would have turned it up even more. And we know how he finishes. You know, there's just
We gotta
something
see
inside.
that though. We can't like keep assuming that he's gonna do that with high level prize fighters, but we never see it because these fights are stopped. You know,
Yeah, you know,
like,
I'm just going by past fights when he turns it up and he goes in for the kill. You know, and
Right.
just knowing him,
oh, he does,
and
have
that's what I'm
influence.
going by.
For sure.
Because
He has
who
influence.
knows? We don't even know what would happen. We don't know.
That's the problem, Christine.
I
We
know.
didn't know.
I know.
Or even if he would have just let him get up, throw a few punches, and then was like, okay, I don't like this, how this looks, throw in the towel.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I just feel like we should have gotten just a little bit more just to see, because you don't know. He could have just gotten up and then,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like really there's no right or wrong answer. It's
Yeah.
just because we're gonna always wonder what would have happened, you know, always. And then Kenny has to live with, you know what, should I have let him? I'm glad I'm stopped, you know, like I'm sure he struggles with that. Like what did he make the right decision?
Yeah.
You know?
What ifs? The what ifs.
The what
driving
ifs.
him crazy this week.
That's
For
what
real.
kills us.
Especially when he found out that Sean was actually ahead on the cards,
Right.
on several judges' cards. It's
Right.
probably going to mess with him for a while. Emilio
Well,
has a comment.
You
No.
know what really like I was curious about. I don't know if y'all saw the press conference when he was saying that we knew we were going to retire anyway, and there were some things going on in camp, you know, and he wasn't 100%. So I'm thinking he must have been thinking about all that in the corner when he did stop the fight. Like what we don't know exactly what happened. You know, he hasn't really divulged that, but obviously something happened for him to say that. You know, and maybe that's another reason why he threw the towel in, something that we don't know about. Because, you know, it's very intimate in the corner with your coaches, with your cornermen. They know
Right.
what's going on in your life. They know your injuries. They know if you're happy, sad, if you're confident, if you're not. And so obviously he knew some things that we did not know.
That's true. There could have been more to that decision to stop. And I just feel like if he knew that Porter was getting ready to retire, why would you use that as the last words that are heard about your son and that people remember when he's
Right.
had such
Sure.
an illustrious career and he has so much to be proud of, and
Absolutely.
you demean him in the last moments of his career? I
Absolutely.
hope that we can all get over this particular part of it and really start thinking about how many amazing fights he's given boxing fans.
Oh yeah, he's done amazing. I mean, absolutely. He has nothing to be ashamed of. He's a champ.
Yeah, I was just thinking about when Sakura said how Sean might have would have popped up and been a dog or whatever. It made me think about what if Diego Corrales' father would have stopped the fight with
Oh
him.
man, Diego Corrales. Woo, you're right.
Yeah, if his
You're
dad,
right.
what if his dad would have stopped the
Right.
fight with him and what's his name, Castillo.
Castillo,
You know,
yeah.
Corrales was knocked down twice, and
Right.
if his dad would have stopped it, we wouldn't have got that, you know, amazing
Right.
finish.
Classic fight. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He got dropped twice
Absolutely.
and jumped up and
Yeah.
turned the fight around.
Tyson Fury
Agreed.
fight too. Tyson got up and, you know, knocked out
He
Wilder.
rose from the dead.
Yep, he
Right.
rose from it. That's what he did. He ran. He
rose
rose
from
from
death. He did the
You
Undertaker.
never know what could have happened.
Let's see. we got
Absolutely.
Danny
And like
who
I
said-
said, we'll just never know. We have our
Yeah, we'll
opinion,
never-
and that's all we have. Unfortunately,
Right.
we'll never know.
Yeah.
Daniel says Czarina's pops is OG. He wouldn't have acted like Porter's dad.
My father would never. My father would never. Just off principle, he wouldn't. Like, he's put me in there with some dog sparring. I'm like, yo, this dude hits hard. And he's like, don't get hit. I don't know. But also at the same time, me and my dad have an understanding. If you stop me in a fight on this level, we gotta fight. We gotta fight. Fight for everybody. I don't know. We gotta glove up because that's not going.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Y'all have that relationship. I often wonder about Kenny and Sean's relationship because I felt so sorry for him. Like in the press conference, he was just sitting there like a little boy, and his dad was like saying all these things. And I wonder if they have that kind of relationship where they can really communicate, or it's like whatever his dad says, it is what it is. I don't know. I'm curious. I haven't been around them two together.
The way that his dad made it seem, like in the post conference, like it just made it seem like he was punishing Sean, and that's why he stopped it. Like it didn't seem like he did it out of a care, like because they cared about both. It just kind of seemed like, oh well, he wasn't listening in camp. This was going on, that was going on. He wanted to retire. Maybe he didn't want him to retire. So it's like, I stopped it because of these reasons, not because I care for his health. This is what it sounded like. It sounded really bad. It was just like, dang, you embarrassed your son in front of me.
I mean, he was sitting there, like I said, like a little boy, and he did look embarrassed. It was,
he looked like he had went back into like, when you're 5-year-old and your dad or your mom is calling you, that was what was so demeaning to me. I mean, and the thing about it was, even if Sean didn't train the way he normally does, that man still probably trained like 100 and maybe like 60% more than the average trainer can, do when it comes to training. So I don't even think that Sean was in good shape. We were talking about being in the 10th round already,
and you have to be in good shape, in condition to take shots and to give shots. He looked like he was in impeccable shape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was working with Larry Wade, which is like one of the best strength and conditioning coaches out here. So it was like he was working with Larry Wade for this fight, and I think the last fight as well. So he was working really hard. Like I go down.
Have you had the opportunity to work with this guy, Czarina? Have you had an opportunity to work with this guy, Larry?
Not yet. I want to. I've talked to him about it, and he's like, yeah, but he's expensive.
Right.
I don't got it like that yet.
We need some sponsors, guys.
Yeah, we need some sponsors. I was like, wait till I get it like that, and then I can't wait because I love Larry Wade. Like he's very kind. He always speaks. I go run at the track that he works the guys out on, so I get to see like some of the stuff that he does with them, and I'm like, he works them hard, and I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited to. But he a little expensive. He a little out of my budget.
For now, it's coming.
Yeah, just exactly right, Christine. For now, but it's coming.
Like I can't. But he tells me every time he sees me, I can't wait to start working with you. And I'm like, yeah, me too. So, once the budget's there.
Bernard Hacker got another comment. He says the G-Man Gerald McClellan. Look at him now. How many fans are still checking on him?
Yeah, I talk to Lisa and check in on G-Man and Lisa McClellan all the time. And she does get quite a bit of support from British people, as a matter of fact, as far as donating to his, GoFundMe page. So she was telling me that. So it's a good thing that fans do support him, but it's nowhere near, like you're saying, Coach Nard, it's nowhere near what it should be. I feel like that was a situation there where that fight should have been stopped way earlier, but that particular, they were fighting in England and they allowed Ben to get back into the ring, and that just changed everything right there. Yeah, he was getting away with a lot of things.
That's horrible.
And it's also situational too, because sometimes it's the ref's fault, sometimes it's the corner's fault. It's really situational on when a fight should or should not be stopped. Like you can get hit with a million rabbit punches, and the only person who can possibly see it or who has the jurisdiction to stop it because of the rabbit punches is the ref. If the ref is not stopping it, then that's negligence on his end.
Yeah.
So it's very situational when it comes to when fights should or should not be stopped.
I mean, and Ben was like completely knocked out of the ring. It should have been like end of the game, G-Man wins the fight, but they allowed that fight to continue because they were in the UK and it's Nigel Ben's territory. So things like that do happen, and it's
absolutely
sad when it does. Like, because you have a job to do, regardless of who you might favor or where they're from. Right now, a lot of that judging that we're seeing is also falling into that category where it's like who you know, what you know, who you really want to favor mentally in your mind, even subconsciously, is affecting judging, I think. So we got a
Yeah.
ways to go on being impartial from all of us, basically.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
lot of-
Really, while we're on this subject, it's not professional boxing, but I did have like a friend of a friend. His name is Nathan. He went to UNLV. I also go to UNLV. He just passed away because he was in a fraternity, and their
I
frat
saw
threw,
that.
yeah, their frat throws yearly fight nights for charity.
Okay.
So I guess the referee that they had was being negligent during the fight. He suffered a lot of, back of the head shots, a lot of shots that caused internal bleeding, and he passed away a few days later
God bless him.
from the fight. So I will be posting a link for you guys if anybody wants to donate.
Absolutely.
His GoFundMe. I will be posting it on my main page, and I will be posting it on my boxing page. So Czarina McCoy and Czarina McCoy 2, if you guys would like to go and donate to that GoFundMe. But we do have to be better with the judging and the reffing and the negligence, because people's lives are at stake.
Well, I had heard too that it was not sanctioned, and that the
Yeah.
ref was drinking. He wasn't.
He was
even
drinking,
A
yeah.
ref.
He I guess he said he was a ref for the money
Yeah.
purposes, but he
Right.
wasn't a sanctioned ref, and I guess people caught him drinking,
Yes.
so, and that does happen a lot in boxing, in the sport of boxing, especially in the
Sure.
amateurs. I don't know, I was in the amateurs for a really long time. I was on the team, so I was a tournament kid, so I only went to tournaments. And when you go to tournaments a lot, you see a lot of things. So a lot of these judges
Sure.
and refs, you'll see them at the bar all night long.
Mhm.
And then you'll see them come in.
Sure. Yeah,
Oh.
my son, they did those charities, for Sigma Chi, but
Yeah.
everything was sanctioned. I mean, we had official refs, we had judges, we had everything, and
Yeah.
who even knows what the gloves look like? If it wasn't sanctioned,
If it
I
was-
just feel so bad for his family. God bless his soul.
Too. It's terrible. And I guess they're gonna press like charges not against the
Sure.
boy, but like against, I think, the school and the fraternity. It was
Yeah,
two different
sure.
fraternities. But Nathan was a part of SAE, Sigma Alpha Echelon, or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, so he was part of that fraternity. So they're not going to press charges against the boy for like throwing the
Right.
death row, as they call it, but they will be probably suing the fraternities for not properly handling this event, and
Yeah.
the school for not making sure that the fraternities were properly.
And I wouldn't be surprised if colleges.
The guy, they're trying to.
over the US.
Yeah, I think they're trying to identify who the ref was for falsely identifying himself as a sanctioned referee for this fight,
Yeah.
and for not being more for negligence as well, because he did put his life in danger by not.
I hadn't heard of this story, but it
Yeah.
sounds very compelling. And I know in this state, actually in our hometown, last month they had an unsanctioned boxing event down here, and it's actually on our state statutes that you cannot have a boxing event unless it is either through the USA Boxing
Yes.
or the
Commission.
boxing commissioners.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
everywhere.
don't know what's going to happen, but somebody also died in that, but it was
Oh
like,
my
you
God.
know, it was a shooting that happened at the event.
Oh, it's a shooting. Okay.
Yeah, but the event should have never even happened.
Right.
You know, it's like people were gathering there for this fake fight
Yeah.
night. And, so it created the atmosphere for something like that to happen.
And in the fight night here, there also were no medics on the scene.
Yeah.
That too. They were not
Yeah.
medics on the scene here.
Completely, it was completely handled the wrong way.
I think
and
it was
now-
15 minutes, right? 15 minutes.
Yeah, it
as
was
he was
like
laying on the
15.
canvas before.
Mhm. Yeah, and they were
What? Oh my
setting
goodness.
him up to accept awards and stuff. Like nobody thought to take him to the hospital or anything.
God
Like
bless.
they just had to get him up and make him accept awards, and he's on the canvas for 15 minutes. So we have to do better, and I feel like it should have been handled better, considering UNLV has a boxing team. They have a boxing team, an entire boxing team, and if those
It's real bad. That sounds really disgusting because it's like
Yeah.
So
someone
sad. It's
using
tragic.
professionals that can actually help you do things properly.
and it's I
There's a
don't
system.
really blame the boys because
Right.
of the fact that there's so many different levels of people that you have to
Sure.
go through,
Mhm.
and there's adults at the top. You have to they have to approve it for it to even go through. like the guys plan it, but they have to go to different levels, and then there's an adult at the top who approves all of it, which means you as an adult, you make these executive decisions.
Absolutely.
You need to double check these people, and now a young boy has lost his life.
Right. How old was he?
I'm not sure how
Wasn't
old he was.
I think he was wasn't he a freshman? He was really
Yeah,
young.
he was like 20. He was like 20 or
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, that's awful.
yeah. I didn't.
You're gonna post something on your page? Say that again. What you were gonna post on your page?
Yeah, I'm gonna post his GoFundMe link on my story.
Good. Thank you.
On both my stories for the next couple of days. So if you guys want to go look, and I'll also post it on my Facebook and my Twitter. So if you guys would like to go and donate to his GoFundMe, that would help. I didn't know him, like we weren't friends, but I knew him through friends. So like one of his frat brothers was my friend, and I would see him around at like their parties or their get-togethers and their events and stuff, like him and his girlfriend. So and I know like his girlfriend's going through a lot right now. Like we all have mutual friends, so I'm seeing like how she's handling it. She's going through it, and it's like I feel so bad for her. I feel bad for his family,
parents. Yes, so unexpected as well. And at that point in a child's, when you're raising a child and you're trying to get them to that point where they enter college and stuff, to have everything, you think you're like almost through, like, ooh, I've almost like, got this child through, the worst years of growing. Yeah, and then it's snatched away from you. It's just awful. It's an awful feeling.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just totally banned these fundraisers all over the United States.
Might. I mean, the way that it's looking like they might actually do that because of the fact that he lost his life. Like, it's not like he was injured and could heal from it. Like, he actually lost his life. So there's a good chance that they might actually just completely ban.
I could see that.
There's a lot of fundraising that people think they can just go around the proper protocols and procedures.
They don't want to pay the sanctioning fees. They want to keep all the money, and that's a problem.
Yeah. But then it's like there would have even been ways to get around it. Like, had anybody told me about it, my gym that I started at, Richard Steele's Foundation, it's a foundation for youth. And they have people come up, they have refs come up there, and use it as their like hours that they need to like practice, and they have gear for kids and everything. Like, I could have even spoken to him and said, hey, could we use your gym for this fundraiser event? Could have used his gear, the ring, referees who are actually sanctioned, stuff like that, and it would have all been for charity. So you really wouldn't have had to pay that much, or anything, if anything, because Mr. Steele isn't really like a I want money kind of thing. He's a nonprofit, so they probably wouldn't have had to pay anything at all. But I wasn't even aware that the fight night was a thing because I'm not in Greek life. I just have friends who are in Greek life, so I didn't know about it. But had I known about it, I would have been like, oh, well, I could probably help. And this could have, like, there were so many other ways this could have been prevented.
Absolutely.
Right. I said it sounds from what you guys are saying that a lot of things fell through the cracks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just terrible. But we definitely are going to reshare the GoFundMe. And I also have Gerald McCullen's GoFundMe information as well on our page, too, that I can reshare for people that want to donate to his care as well. I think right now she's trying to make sure that Gerald can get stem cell research, stem cell treatments coming up soon. So hopefully she's able to secure that. I think the WBC Cares is also trying to help make sure that happens too. So I mean, we got some people out here that's doing great things for when when things don't go the way that we want them to. So we got to also give them kudos too.
Czarina, is Bob in the gym? Bob Aaron?
No.
Okay.
Cash Flow's in here right now if y'all want to say hi.
Cash Flow?
Oh yeah, bring him on. Let's start the Cash Flow. Say what's up, man. Christine, what have you been up to? I know you're in Colorado, right?
Well, he just finished out.
I am.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
So what's up?
Let's see. What you been up to, man? We saw you in your last fight. What you got planned next?
I'm just waiting on another fight date. I'm just enjoying December, enjoying the month of Christmas. So spending time with me and just working out and just staying in shape.
Look at you. Well, you ain't gonna let this Christmas food get to you, huh? You gotta try to stay in shape, huh?
Boy. Yep.
When we first saw Cash Flow on the 24/7, right?
Yeah. And then at the gym, and we seen him at the Mayweather gym.
Wow.
It's been a lot of years since then. I mean, how are you liking the way your career is developing? Are you happy
It's
the way things are going?
I wouldn't have it any other way. Everything's going great. I feel like I'm real sharp and I'm just getting better every fight. I'm learning every fight. So there's always room for improvement, but I definitely know I'm getting better and I'm just on the road to become a world champion one day, you know?
Cash Flow, when's your next fight?
He said he's waiting on it.
I heard February.
Yeah, he's waiting on it.
Sure, so
Tell us how you like Czarina. How you like seeing her in the ring? I mean, you think she got what it takes?
She definitely got what it takes. I always see her at the gym. She's always working. You know, she's always here. She's always here usually before me. So she's definitely here working out.
I mean, we've known each other for a really long time.
Yeah. So we don't stay here for an hour or so. We stay here way longer. So I definitely see her in the gym. She's definitely working, and she's the next big thing. So you got to watch out, okay?
Yeah, and he be working hard.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He be having me running up mountains, chopping wood and stuff. I feel like a lumberjack.
Wait a minute, are y'all been sparring each other?
No, we don't spar. I just go work out with them. I'll do runs with them. They be chopping wood and running up hills and mountains.
Like that.
Old school.
Every time I go, I'm never coming again. I'm never coming again.
Oh, they on that old school training. I like that.
Yeah.
Zarina, you done hit some wood too. You done chop some wood.
Yeah, I chop. Okay, so funny story is they had we met them at the mountains, right, to go run. So we were training with like FA and who was it? FA and Josh.
Yeah.
And they had come to pick me up. So we were getting on. So mind you, the mountain that we went to go run on is like a good 45 minutes from my house. And we get like on the freeway and I'm like, oh my God, I was in my Crocs. I was like, oh, I forgot my running shoes. Way too late to turn around and go back. So we go straight up there. We meet them and I tell them, I'm like, I forgot my running shoes. And they're like, so you just give me for no reason? I was like, no, I'm going to run like a mile or two and then that's it. So I'm running a mile up the mountain in my Crocs.
Oh my
right?
God. Blisters.
I get to a mile and his dad's like, are you ready to get in? I was like, I'll do one more. I get to he stops me on 2.5 and he was like, are you ready? And I was like, I'll keep going to 3. And so I go to 3 and he's like, okay, you want to get in the car now? And I was like, if I don't finish, they're going to make fun of me. So I'll just do the gymnastics. Up the mountain in my Crocs. When I tell you my feet were in so much pain.
Honestly, I didn't think she was even. I was like, why are you running in the first place?
I got all the way up and everybody else was done before me. And then he goes, wow, wouldn't have been me, but I'm proud of you.
I know, Crocs, man. I know your feet were throbbing. My
feet were hurting and I thought we were done. We got in the car. I was like, oh, thank God. And then they parked. And we get out, we walk all the way through the mountains, got flies this big, on me and stuff.
They made it worse. They prolonged that pain.
Like, we're gonna chop some wood.
Usually when your feet are hurting like that, when you stop and you just relax in your arms, they really start hurting.
And then he had me chopping wood in my Crocs. I was like, I could cut my foot off, right?
I got
I wasn't go with them anymore, Czarina. I don't think I will.
It was terrible. I was so traumatized. I stopped wearing my Crocs for 2 weeks. I was like, I can't even look at them.
I would have thrown them things in the trash. I would have been like, I don't want to see another Croc anywhere.
He recorded me chopping wood in my Crocs. I was like, oh my God.
I gotta see that video. Cashflow, you gotta post that. I gotta see that.
And they were like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God.
You chop your foot.
He was like, don't chop your foot off. I was like, I'm really trying not to.
Now, Christine, you're also in training with the Boxing USA team. What's going on there? We got some new talent coming in, or is this
we do? We have some of the youth
from last year.
Yeah, we have some of the youth that have come up to the elites, and we have some of the same girls too that went to the Olympics. We just finished up camp. I'm headed home tomorrow, but then they're gonna go to USA Nationals because Women's World was postponed because of COVID, the new variant. I'm so sick of COVID, but we were supposed to go during Christmas, and then they postponed it to March, and now it's going to be May. So we don't want the girls to be inactive, so they're going to go to USA Nationals just to get the work.
All right. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we got to be. All of us have to be very adaptable in this situation. But boy,
yeah.
they have taken Team USA through it. Like you guys
Absolutely.
have had the most
Absolutely.
cancellations, reschedules, and
Yes.
then the whole Olympics with no fans. I mean,
Girl, that was, yeah. I mean, everything leading up to it. The girls and the guys went through it. Let me tell you, it's been a journey. They're tough, emotionally, mentally, and physically. After all of this, definitely.
yeah, I can see where that's gonna be like. No matter what people throw at them in life, they're gonna be like, whatever. You know,
Absolutely.
I get performing in the Olympics on an off year.
Right.
Yeah, you have Kay in the background. Kay Karoma. He was the
Yes,
old.
I was gonna say I saw a picture. Where's Kay?
He's right there.
I know he doesn't like to be on camera, but tell
Yeah, I
him
told
I
him
said,
over
hey.
here. He's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to come.
He doesn't like. That's my guy. Kay's my guy.
He said,
Oh, so he don't like the camera,
Hey.
not at all. He's over there.
Hey. No, he
Sure.
doesn't. He's a badass. He's a
And then
badass.
that's my
Love
dad
him.
right here, my father. And then Kay's been training me for this.
Oh my God. You know, because whenever she said that you were going to be on the show, I went to your Instagram and I saw Kay. I even like made a comment. That's my guy. Love him.
Kay's been training me actually since June, I think.
That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear
Yeah,
that.
he was my coach when I was on the team, like when I was going to the OTC a lot.
Yes.
He was my coach then, and then when I turned pro, he had stopped coaching the team because all his guys turned pro.
Yes, I know. Yes, I was here with him. Yeah.
Yeah, now they all come out here for camp, and he's like, "Hey, we're here. Come on, you're finna train." And I was like, "Oh,
I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. Yes, that Kay's my confidant. I call him for everything.
Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that.
That's my guy. Yeah.
Even things I think my dad will get mad at me for, I'll be like, "Hey, guess what? I gotta tell you something."
And he's always like so calm. Okay. He calls me Chris. Chris, you gotta be positive. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, and he probably talks to you the same way. It's okay. Don't get excited. You know. He's the best. He is.
Yeah, I think I think 2 camps, or was the camp that I did? What was it? It was like 2 camps ago, I think. And I was like trying to like lose my last couple pounds. You know, the last 2 or 3 are the hardest to get off, right?
Yes.
And it's super hot in the gym. Like they had the gym at least 100 degrees in here every day. And I had all my my hoodie, my sweats on, all that stuff. And he's like having me do rounds, right? At this point, I'm so frustrated. I'm very sensitive. So at this point, I'm frustrated. I'm crying. Like I'm like,
oh yeah.
He's like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "I can't. It's so hot." And he was like, "You're not tired. You're not hungry. You're not stressed." I said, "No, I'm hot." And he goes, "Come here." I'm over there and I'm crying. And he's like, "Listen, you're okay. You're just frustrated. You gotta stay focused." This man's so calm. He's like, "Gotta stay focused. You're okay. I mean, wipe your tears. You got 3 more rounds. That's it.
That's
it's
how
easy."
he is. He is so awesome.
And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Go ahead."
He knows what to say. He knows what to say and make you feel better. And he does not do the interviews. He does not, even when his guys were fighting, he's in the background. He didn't do it. If people knew this guy, like he's amazing. He's like one of the top trainers. And people don't know.
Y'all gotta introduce him to us the next time we're all together, because that sounds like a person that
I have like 3 pictures with him, and I had to force him to take all 3 of them. I was like, "Take this picture with me."
Yeah,
and
I
he's
know.
"You don't like being in the camera." I said, "Do I look like I care?" And then in the pictures, mind you, we're taking the pictures, and I'm like, "Can you smile?" He's like, "What I gotta smile for?" Like, "Can you actually smile?" I got like a little tiny from him. That's it. That's all I got. I was like, "I'll take it."
Yeah, well, whenever you're finished with the interview, tell him I said hi that I was on.
I will. I'm gonna tell him. Yeah, I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, "If you don't smile," and then we have the same birthday, so I'm like, "I'm your favorite. It's okay. I know you're your fighter."
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "It's okay. I know you're a fighter," and he's like, he should be looking at me like,
"That's cool. That's cool. You have the same birthday. That's awesome."
That is funny.
I for sure stress him out of all his fighters. I stress him out.
You have a question, guys. Give me
Hey, y'all, I just want a prediction. What y'all think gonna happen with Tank and Cruz Sunday? What kind of fight?
Bless
You
you.
gonna see?
You said which one, the Tank Davis fight?
Yeah, the Tank
For the
He
Davis
wants
fight.
y'all to predict the winner. Who you got?
Between Haney and I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, Haney and
No,
JoJo.
between Davis versus Cruz.
Yeah, the Tank
Oh,
Davis.
Dave. No brainer. To me,
Yeah.
no brainer.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
got
I
Tank.
think that Cruz is come forward. He's
Yeah.
aggressive right there. I think that's like tailor made for one
Tailor
of
made. He's gonna be
Davis'
right there. That's
Yeah.
devastating, uppercuts or
Yeah.
devastating hooks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just tailor made for a great knockout.
I was gonna say he's gonna get knocked out. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I mean, it's almost too easy. It's almost
Yeah.
just a too easy.
I think it was too early for him to even take a fight like that, but I know that boxers have to take chances. And the fact that you're not going to get a money fight like that again
Right.
in that division, probably. So,
Changes everything.
yeah, it's like you just have to.
What if he step up like Cambosis did?
But he don't have them type of skills. Cambosis had them
No.
6 boxing skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
totally different than you being a very aggressive pit bull type,
Right.
style.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, you have to think in the Cambosas and Lopez fight.
Yeah.
Cambosas was trying really hard to stay calm in there. Like
Yeah,
he was
he did
trying to
good.
stay well postured the entire time. Teofimo was just coming forward trying to knock him out with like a heavy
Right.
shot. And he's literally staying calm. He's staying in his posture with his technique. He's throwing shots. Like, it gets crazy in there. But something that my coach that started me, my coach Jermaine, told me, has always told me, whoever is going to be the calmest in there is who's going to win. He's like, if you're being like too high strung and you're letting it get to you, you're not going to be able to think. You're not going to be able to see anything. So the person who stays the calmest in there is the person who's going to win. And
That's
Teofimo
what Christine was saying. Christine was saying that it's a mental aspect.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
why
and it's the corners too. I mean, look at the two different corners. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Tio's dad and look at Centeno. He's always so calm, and then Tio's dad was like, get him out of there, kick it. I mean, no instruction.
None. No
Not
instruction.
there
jab,
was no instructions. They were
Nothing.
not.
I was literally like, okay, but
Right, but what is he gonna do?
Ew.
How is he gonna do what you're telling him to do?
right.
And
Tell him
knock
what
him
he
out the
can
first
do.
round. He came out like a lunatic
Yeah.
the first round. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and also like what you were saying about mental, I honestly don't really think that the fight should have happened at all when it did. Like, I feel like it should have got postponed
I
just because of
agree.
everything that Teofimo was going through in this camp,
I
with his
agree.
mental health, with his wife, the divorce from his wife, and like
Yes.
all the drama with his family. It was just too much.
And a lot of other things that are going to come out later that nobody, that the people close to him know. There's other things that are going to come out, and it should not have happened. It
Yeah.
really shouldn't have. But they had already postponed it a year, so it was like we had to do it. We have to do it now. I know
Yeah.
he was starving himself. Because my very good friends used to work with
That's
him.
the biggest
as far as
problem right there.
nutrition, and he didn't work with them anymore, and so he was starving himself. It's not
Yeah.
good.
I
Yeah,
think
there
the
was
problem
too
was
much-
that fight honestly was cursed from the get go. Like, I really felt like it had bad mojo. from
Yeah,
the beginning.
yes.
Yeah, it's like your own your own promoter is not even promoting the fight
Right.
for you.
Yeah.
The promoter doesn't really know how to market a fight like that. Wrong
Yeah.
locations, wrong dates, pushbacks,
Yeah.
changing venue after changing venue after changing dates. I mean, it
Yeah.
was all like a clusterfuck, to tell you the truth.
It really was. It really was.
And
Like,
then the ultimate end was you lost all your titles.
Yeah.
Like, that was just a bad fight. The
Yeah.
whole the
Well,
entire.
and he's. I mean, congratulations to O'Shea Jones. She just got signed by Split T, which is also Teofimo's management team.
Okay.
He was their big dog. He was the man.
Mhm.
And I think they should have stepped back and renegotiated or said something else, because they knew everything that was going on in his head, in his life. And
Yeah.
I think it
They
should have been
still
postponed
want
as
to
well.
do it. Yeah.
Right.
You have to prioritize your fighters, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm still independent right now, because I want to find people who are going to prioritize me, not only my wants but also my needs, more importantly my needs. I don't want somebody who's going to continue to sit here and say, well, I understand that you're sitting here on the brink of committing but I'm gonna make you fight anyways. Like, this man should have been getting help for his
Absolutely.
mental health issue.
Absolutely.
He should have been trying to figure out what he was doing regarding his relationship with his wife, his family stressing him out. He should have been away from that situation in general, you know. And
baby, you know, the baby on the way too.
yeah,
Oh,
like
Yeah,
you're
the
not
baby's been born. The
right
baby-
now, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
through the camp,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, it's stuff that's really distracting you from what you
Absolutely.
want to be doing.
Absolutely.
It's just
if you knew that he couldn't focus on this, then it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
You know,
you're very smart to be independent too. You're very smart, very smart. Because in this day, in this time, you can do that. You can do that right now.
Yeah.
She does have great wisdom for her age. We always say that from the beginning that we interviewed her.
I can
But
tell.
I want you. She understands that some people see her as a boxer as just a commodity,
Absolutely.
as a product.
It's pimps
there's
and
no-
prostitutes, if you allow it.
Right.
Literally.
Yes. And there's no empathy. There's no compassion or love for the actual boxer, the
Right.
person. They're only
Yes.
looking at you as how much money can I make off this person.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
she's got an eye to where she can, you know, peak that game.
Yes.
Since she
I'm trying
already
to keep
knows.
my girl a free agent as long as possible too. It's been a roller coaster ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tiara Brown, shout out to
Tiara
Tiara.
Brown. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like you'll get a lot of you know, deals and a lot of negotiations on the table, but it's just like, how can I really know what you like, that you're gonna take care of me as a
Protect
person,
you. Yes.
Yeah.
not
Yes.
just as a fighter. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I need somebody who's gonna make sure that I'm like your best friend, or I'm like a daughter to you, or I'm
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say like their
something that-
child. They have to treat you that
something
way.
that you care about. If I can't trust my life with you, I don't really need to sign,
Absolutely.
because at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing. I'm signing my
Your
life.
life,
for
right.
you to
Every time you get in the ring, you're risking
You
your
are
life.
very
So
smart. Absolutely.
And that's why, like, out
that's
of all
more advice for new people, you know, new up and coming talent like Czarina. You know, as far as watching out for these basic boxing predators is what I
Yeah.
call them.
so it's literally what they are.
Absolutely. There's a very small pool that you can trust, but it's very small, and you have to find them. You have to know who they are. Kay is a guy you can trust.
Kay.
That's for sure. He's definitely in my small little circle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when I was when I first got on the team and I was going to camp, right? So my dad used to be really strict when I was younger. Like, didn't trust anybody. I never went to sleepovers. I never had sleepovers at my own place. Nothing. Like, that's how
Good
strict.
dad.
He was like, I don't trust nobody, right?
Good
But
dad.
he talks to Kay, right? And Kay's like, I want to bring her out for the OTC. This is my first time going. It was like that, like right when I was old enough to go to the OTC. I was 15. He's like, he talks to Kay and he's like, you know, I know that this is your daughter. I'm gonna take care of her. Don't worry about it, right? I go the first time. My dad calls me every single day. He's like, she's fine. Like, I'm good. Like, she's got it. And after that, my dad's like, is Kay gonna be there? Kay's the only coach that I trust. The only one. Yeah, and he would like never leave me alone at the gym. He'd always be there. Like the only coach that Kay has that my dad has ever trusted, like to leave me with alone, is my coach that started me and Kay. That's it.
Yeah,
like,
I could see that.
Even to this day, those are like the only coaches that he trusts for me to just be around and be alone with, and like, okay, he's gonna take care of her. Like, he won't even let me spar if he's not here. But if Kay is here and he's not here, he'll be like, oh, well, Kay's there, so go ahead.
Yeah,
like,
that's good. Yeah, he is that guy. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like you have to find the people that you can really trust, because at the end of the day, whoever you're trusting in this sport, you're trusting with your life, literally.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Wow, that's deep, guys. Y'all are really opening up and letting people know the knowledge that they need to know if they want to be a part of this sport, especially as women. There is that extra added element of having to protect your daughter or your sister or, whoever it is, female, from sexual predators too. So you have to watch out who you're allowing them to be around in these gyms.
Yes.
So, I mean, nobody talks about those things.
No. Literally.
Yes.
So many. Yeah. When I was younger, it's all, oh my God, you're like a little sister to me, like a little sister to me. Like right when I hit 18, it was like, hello. What's up?
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Start
It's,
looking
yeah.
at you different, huh? You're legal.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things. It's crazy. And even
And
just
then
to be
it's
a
like,
woman
yeah,
in
it's
the
like
sport,
as soon as
for
I hit
people to
18,
take you seriously.
it was like oh, what's up? And then it's like some of them even still waited, like, oh no, you're still like a little sister. Oh, you're like a niece to me. Da da da. Once I hit 20, they were like, so I've always kind of had a thing for you. I was like, hold on,
Yeah.
this is weird. Like,
I always had a thing for you, huh? Like,
And so,
You
Corey,
know,
you and I have talked about this. You know, just even being women in boxing, it's like we have our boxing brain. We have the things that we've done, we've accomplished, and sometimes people just still don't see it that way. You
yeah,
know, it's just it's sad.
yeah.
Christine
It's
and
like,
I talk about that all the time. How
We
you
do.
still get, I want to be respected in the sport for our knowledge,
Absolutely.
what we bring, and how we're trying to contribute to
Yes.
changing women's boxing and boxing in
Yes.
general. I don't want
Yes.
to be known as the person you could easily get in bed and
Right, or using your
talk about
assets,
boxing.
you know, to
Yeah.
get what you want. Yeah.
or like
Right.
you think like, oh, they've been around me for so long, they trust me, so now I can just like,
Yeah, and that's how they groom. It's
that's
yeah.
weird. I thought
You're
you were my
smart.
friend. I thought you were my uncle. Like, what are you
Right.
doing?
Oh, not uncle now. That's really, they older to be.
It really be the old men. It really be the old men.
You're
for
like,
real.
no, my grandpa.
Yeah, it really be the old men. They'll be like, you grown up. You look so beautiful now. Maybe we can. No, we can't. I told my dad.
Call your dad. Call Kay.
I'm never too grown to snitch to my dad. I tell my dad
Oh,
everything.
that's right.
I tell my dad.
When you have somebody dropping them DMs that's a world champion, go ahead, tell it.
I'd be like, look, Dad, look. I tell him everything. I tell him
Tell
everything.
your dad.
Guess who tried to get at me? Guess who asked me out on a date? I tell my dad everything. We be
That's good.
gossiping.
That's
We be
good.
I like that. I mean, and your dad, my grandparents were the same way. I couldn't have sleepovers and stuff, and I definitely wasn't going to nobody else's house, honey.
Right.
So it's like,
My kids.
I thought he was strict, but now that I know and see
Now that I
all
know.
the different cases of, girlfriends of mine saying they went here or they were dropped off there or it was the
Yeah.
babysitter, I understand now perfectly. Like, wow, they weren't being strict. They were just like really protecting my
They
ass from
saved
what's out here.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, now that I'm older, I'm like, ooh, y'all weird. Y'all weird out here. I don't know.
It's sick when you look at the statistics because they say it's a lot of women that in some way have been, sexually assaulted.
Absolutely.
And, no matter how
Absolutely.
mild it was or,
Yeah.
when you get to the real rape situations, like it's
Yes.
a lot of women that have experienced that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like sad that it
Very sad.
shouldn't be that high. And then when you get to Native American women, I mean, it's just like
Oh my
10
gosh.
times you're more likely to,
That's so
either pass
tragic.
away or be some type of sexually assaulted. Like, it's like really bad.
Well, they go missing and nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody even checks to look for them until it's like 20 or 30 days later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's horrible.
True.
Now, ladies, I did have to ask you one more question that a guest has, and they are serious. They want to know what's next for Bud. Who's got an answer for me? Because I do not know. Bud got options, but then it seems like he don't have options. So you guys, we'll start
Well,
with.
he's top rank, so I mean, he could sign on with somebody else, or he could just do independent. He could, it's up. Honestly, he has a lot of options right now.
Well, he's gonna chase the belts. Ugas,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get Spence like right now. I know for sure he'll probably get
So
Lucas,
I don't think so either. I think Ugas would be the best bet. But
Mhm.
why fight anybody else unless there's some jewelry at the end of it all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but for Bud, to me, it's like he has options. Like he could go sign with a different promotional banner for sure, or be independent. But when you got almost all the welterweights sitting with Premier Boxing champions or PBC, or they're managed by Al Heyman, it seems like it's still only one road to getting these fights made. And so that's why I say it looks like he got options, but then does he really have options when all the welterweights are still over in one management camp? So
Yeah,
I think
both
it's
parties
gonna
definitely have to agree. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know he wants to be unified, and we'll see what happens. I'm
On some
curious.
level, I feel like leaving Top Rank, he kind of lost his protection, if that makes sense. Like, because he was their top dog here, you know. Now it's
They
like you're
didn't
leaving.
appreciate him though at all.
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah,
like
they
Bob
didn't,
did
but
not
they
do what he could have done, like he's done with other champs, you know.
yeah.
And he was the top dog, but he didn't treat him that way.
Mhm. But I feel like the way that he left Top Rank was just really messed up. Like, you're gonna sit there on and tell the man on the conference, like, you didn't even tell him by like to yourself.
You know what? But
God,
he
I
knew.
don't blame him for that, and I'll tell you
Bob
why.
looks sick. I don't know if
Because
y'all looked at his
Bob
face.
said the money that he had lost, he could have bought a new house, or I mean, he has totally also knocked him so much, and Bud did not say anything. He's knocked
Right.
Bud so much, and so to me, it wasn't malice. He just
Mhm.
said the truth. You know, he could have been ugly, because Bob has been very ugly to him, but he didn't. But I was there, and I was just like, I was like, how come I didn't catch this on video? But it
When I
was,
watched it, I was literally like,
yeah, I know. But I thought the way he did it, I loved it, because Bob has been very ugly to him. You know, he thought he was a waste of money.
I just want to say that I don't know if you guys saw Bob's face. Go find the video if you did.
Yes.
Bob
Yeah.
was sick, like literally physically ill, and I was
Yeah. And then he just left the stage, after
yeah,
a
he
second.
left, and I was like, I was literally just
Here's my thing about it is like I don't know what Bud was expecting from him in the beginning. He's shown over and over again that he allows certain barriers to affect his ability in cultivating certain champions, certain talent. And I don't know why, that's who he is. He's shown people over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Bud was expecting him to treat him any differently. And also, it's a situation where if Bud really wanted to leave, I mean, he had the option to leave before this, really. Like, you just don't fight if you want to. But because of his demeanor and the way he carries himself, that's not his personality, really. But I feel like he was set up with them pay-per-view numbers, guys. Why the hell are you going to choose that particular fight with a top 5 welterweight like Sean Porter and put it on an app that only
I didn't like the app. Yeah.
pay-per-view through this app?
I
You
didn't
have
like that.
to pay for the app service and then pay for the actual pay-per-view to see that fight.
Yeah.
I think he wanted his numbers to tank. I think Bob wanted him to have low numbers so someone else would be like,
He
I
knew he
don't
was
think
gonna
I want
leave.
him. He can't sell.
Absolutely. He knew he was going to leave, absolutely. And that's where, we see the people that come out, the woodwork, the snakes, the pimps, the prostitutes, that's how they run their business. And it's very sad. It is what it is. When you go in there knowing that, I don't know if it makes it easier, but you know what you're dealing with,
Right, exactly.
it does make it easier.
When somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Absolutely.
That's a scenario with him.
Get like a false sense of security in this sport.
But, everybody's at PBC. Maybe you be a free agent. I'd say, look, what's good for him? Yeah.
I think he should be a free agent. Yeah, if he can and just negotiate fight by fight, like Mikey Garcia and Canelo, I think that's the way for him to go.
I think he probably can. I think he's at a point where he probably can do that.
And then to go to be just a welterweight.
And keep all the money. Don't pay the middleman. I think he can figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. Don't pay the middleman. I like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I'm gonna check for last minute comments. While I'm doing that, Czarina, give everybody your information on how they can be contacted or how they can fan friendly you.
Okay, so I have Facebook, Twitter, and 2 Instagrams. So one Instagram is my main, which is Czarina McCoy. My second Instagram is where you can catch all my boxing stuff, boxing news, boxing videos, boxing pictures. That's at Czarina McCoy 2, the number 2. Also, both pages are in the bios of each page, so you could find both the pages through one page. I have my Facebook and my Twitter, which is Czarina McCoy. I will be posting the GoFundMe link for Nathan's GoFundMe for his funeral on all of my platforms. So if you guys would like to go donate to his funeral, that would actually help, and it would show support for, better sanctioning events that have anything to do with the sport of boxing. So I'm going to post all that, and you guys can go donate or show support. Even if it's as simple as going onto the UNLV SAE Instagram or onto his girlfriend's page and just showing support, showing love. Anything is needed right now. So,
Absolutely.
I will be posting that on all my social medias. And also, you could probably find me on Boxing Playhouse page or Sakura's Instagram or something if you're having a hard time. But yeah, that's how you can find me on social media.
In the ring with Christine.
No, I just thank y'all so much,
Girl.
Boxing Playhouse, because y'all bring these great up and coming fighters, like Czarina, that I did not know who she was, and now I do, and I'm gonna follow her and be a fan and like, want to support her. So I appreciate everything that y'all do like that. I think it's amazing. I really do. Sometimes we get caught up in our lives and we just don't know what's going on. But In the Ring with Christine, follow me every Wednesdays, Women Crushing It Wednesday. This Wednesday, I have Amir Khan coming on, so I'm super excited. 8 p.m. Central. And you can follow me on In the Ring with Christine with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm always doing something. That's for sure.
All right. I can't wait for this Amir Khan interview as well, because, girl, you're going to have your hands full with them comments.
Girl, I'm gonna be like,
not
where's
happy
the
with
wrench?
him.
Where's the wrench? Out of there.
You know me, I would read a couple and be like, what do you have to say about this, Amir? I mean, why do you think you got an 8 club going on?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a couple of
A little
haters.
bit, yeah.
Well, I do have a comment for Christine from Robert again.
Okay.
From California. He says, to Christine, thank you always for your wonderful support and friendship, and inspire me to venture inspire me to venture out into new platforms with my work in sports media. Much
Thank
love
you so much.
Always, sis.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah, he had a comment earlier for Czarina too. Even though he wasn't able to watch the show live, he sent me the, what he wanted me to say to you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, earlier today. So I thought that was really sweet.
Very sweet.
So definitely, ladies, it's been wonderful talking to you. I want to have you both on the show again right after that win, girl.
Yes, of course. I will be keeping in contact with you, sending you the link to watch the fight December 11th. And then after that, I'm back, of course, for another ladies.
Are you fighting there in Vegas?
No, I'm not fighting in Las Vegas. I'm fighting in Monterrey, Mexico for this fight.
Okay, fabulous.
We're looking.
So
we're
there
looking.
Will be a link. I will be watching the link.
Yeah, we are looking for a Vegas fight in beginning of next year. So
okay, fabulous.
I'll keep you updated on that. But that's
I would love that.
Area.
I did see earlier where Real Hunter from Right Hook, he's in the Biloxi area. He was saying he may do a 120-pound women's tournament next year, trying to get these ladies some boxing work. I love it.
I love that. Love that. Fabulous.
He says, I support women's boxing. Me and Tito Escalera had Rosalinda Rodriguez in Biloxi when we did the Sugarbird.
Nice.
Okay.
So shout out to Will for trying to support the ladies boxing, as well as TNK, which is here in the Tampa Bay area. They also do a lot of women's fights as well. So
love that.
That's how I was able to see. We was able to see Alicia Baumgartner while she was coming up the ranks in a couple of fights, and it's just great when you get to see like the talent that's upcoming, and you know that there's special talents. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Christine, I'm so happy and proud of you for all the work that you're doing with Team USA, and the fact that you still find time to do these podcasts and interviews. And me and Christine might have some amazing news.
We might have some things cooking. Yeah,
we got a little couple things in the fireworks.
Sure do.
Well, thanks so much for y'all
Thank y'all so
participating
much.
tonight. We love you
Thank you.
both so much.
Thanks, Lorena, Christine.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
thank you.
And
Thank y'all.
remember, ladies' night every first week of the month. We bringing in these women that's dedicating their time
Yes.
to the world of boxing. Cheers.
Cheers.
Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Good luck. All right, so you heard it here first. We got these ladies coming up fighting, and as well as training, like in the ring with Christine. That's Lopez. And then, of course, I believe we're going to have Bernard and his son, Major Hackett, definitely coming up. Check him out on the undercard of Davis versus Cruz this Saturday night. We are trying to get Michael Williams Jr. and Sr. trying to get them because they have a fight coming up in December on the Lomachenko undercard. So we have to see him. Yeah, it's got to be a special night for sure. And then we do also have Ken Davis, who also just fought Kenny Davis Jr. He was from the Reno, Nevada area. He also just won a fight on the undercard from the Stephen Fulton and Figueroa card. So they'll be coming through next week on the Thursday to chat with them and see what they're up to. Did we have any other fights we missed with local people, with women? I gotta see what Buffy is up to, Miss Carice Brown. I don't know. I don't remember what fight she has coming up next. It may be a Columbia trip again.
All around the world.
Yes, she's all around the world, baby. That's an international lover right there. Yes, and of course, we want to shout out and congratulate women in the sport of boxing, like KO Kaylee Reese for her unified title win that she had on the Andrade undercard, and then, of course, Alicia Baumgardner as well on her victory, winning her it's a WBO belt, I believe, or it's a WBC as well. The IBO. WBC and IBO unified champ, lightweight.
She did it Marvin Hagler style.
She went overseas and she blasted them out, baby. That's how you got to do it when you taking over. Now, that's the real takeover. When a female go over to foreign soil and bring that title back. So thanks so much for everybody. Thanks for Women's Night. Definitely keep checking us out on the first Monday of every month for who's hot in the ladies divisions and who's not, who's being the total jerk. We might have to talk to William Hunter soon during this weekend to see what he's been up to and who he has beef with. I can't wait. It's going to be one of my, exclusives that I like to do from time to time. So make sure you watch out on our page for when we're going to have the exclusive Will Hunter interview. The Hunter. Peace, and sign up for all of our social medias, YouTube, IG, Twitter, as well as Facebook, baby. Till next time. We love you.